Story time about the time that I was bullied in middle school. And this is not me trying to be like, oh my god, like my life was so hard, like I was just like so lonely, and like I just feel like it's kind of important for me to use my platform to show that like everyone goes through stuff like this, and this was my experience with it and how things played out. And like for context, this was 7th grade. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had like one or two, and I wasn't even super close with them. And I was like a little bit awkward, and I didn't really care about the way that I dressed, so I didn't like get along with people for that reason, because a lot of people at my middle school cared a lot about that. And I'm not trying to say that like I was better or anything for saying that I didn't care about how I dressed. It was just the truth of the matter. Like I just didn't care. But because I didn't have a lot of friends and I was an easy target, I guess, it was right before COVID in 7th grade year, like a week or two before spring break, and I opened my locker and I saw that there was a note in my locker. And the note was written in blue, like Sharpie, like blue highlighter. And it was like, hey, I think you're so pretty. I've been watching you for a while. Like, I really like you. Heart, your secret admirer. And I was like, hello. Because I didn't have a lot of guy friends, and so this meant that if there was someone out there who liked me, like, I didn't know them at all. And I showed it to, like, my one good friend at the time, and I remember her saying, like, oh, well, like, you should figure out who it is. And I talked to her about it now, and she's like, yeah, I remember thinking to myself, like, something didn't feel right about that, because, like, frankly, I didn't talk to a lot of people, and I was an easy target, so put two and two together. But basically I did the worst possible thing, which is I put a response to it on my locker. I put a note, like halfway sticking out of my locker, because I was like, yeah, that will make sure that only the right person gets this, as if it's halfway out of my locker slot. So I basically was like, who are you? Like, this is super flattering, but I'm a little bit creeped out, question mark. Please tell me who you are. And eventually I got another note back, and it was worse. Completely worse. It had a love poem in it. It talked about how they couldn't wait for me to have their kids, and how my hair was so pretty. And like, these things would have been like okay if I was like talking to this person or I knew them, but coming from someone that I didn't even know, it was just so creepy. Like, I remember getting that note and like crashing out, like freaking out, because I was like, who is this? And they never said their name. Never. And then I found out that it wasn't a guy, it was a group of girls from my school pretending to be a guy that liked me.